We Real Reels. Welcome to We Real Reels, the monthly podcast where we review old movies and new movies to find out if they are as good as we remember or if they make you want to howl at the moon. I'm your host, Panda Brendan, and with me is the Atlas E, who is going by Must Be Nice Bear. It must be nice to be a bear.
Oh, yeah.
And my half-brother, the Grizzly Z.
Woo!
This podcast does contain spoilers, and we will be discussing the movie, not really at length, but a little bit. This is a mature content podcast, so be prepared for harsh language and awkward situations. All sound clips, music, and trailers are only used for review purposes and belong to their respective owners. And this is a We Real Shorts. We're going to review Wolfman. And for the non-spoiler review, let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. Should they go to theaters and check out Wolfman? What do you got, Grizz?
I mean, I like the slow burn that's in here. Like Mr. Must Be Nice Bear said that it was just too quiet, you know? It took a little longer for the action to get started, but when it did, I liked it. Man, I just wish there was something to do between the transformations. It's like, I wish they could communicate with each other so they can coordinate these things, or, hey, don't attack these things because it's my family, or I liked it, but it's just a lot of unanswered
Atlas,
stuff.
Be nice.
Should they go see it?
Should they go see it in theaters?
I'll tell you what I got. I'll tell you my opinion. Stream. Stream it. Stream. What is this going to be on Peacock? Probably it's a Universal film, so it's going to be on Peacock.
Probably.
Within the next
couple days.
Not a couple days. It wasn't that bad, man. Probably about the next 5 to 6 months.
Okay. I'm going to go say, yeah. I'm going to say wait for streaming on this one. You don't really have to check out the theaters. But let's go ahead and get into our spoiler full review, okay, guys? I like the beginning. The beginning was creepy. They had a nice scene set up with the kid and his dad. They were out in the woods. Although, if the dad knew that something like that was out there,
Yeah, why would you take your son?
why would you take your son out there?
That was a creepy part where the kid seeing something in his crosshairs.
Man, he was just
And
standing
he was
right
just
there.
there, and it's like, oh, what was it? Oh,
Yeah.
my God. I was like, dude, that thing's going to pop up right in front of you.
I do think it was more of a story, or the rumors. It was, after that moment. I don't think we've got there yet, but
Okay,
it's
so the dad didn't
over the CB
confirm.
radio, he was saying the rumors were true. I saw it.
Okay,
I swear,
okay.
Okay,
He
made
did say
him a believer.
He did say he was going up.
Maybe
there
that's why he
hunting.
got the kid out there, because he's like, it's just a story.
Another thing is confusion too, and we'll take it to the end, but we'll bring it back. At the very end, they're walking and they see that valley that he was talking about. It's so beautiful and stuff. But the dad had to leave the house. They went through that valley to see to go to the hunting spot where they had that little deer stand. The ending ended in that deer stand. Were they going back to the house is when they saw that valley? Is that what they were doing? Because that valley was in between the house and that deer stand that they went to.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. It was kind of weird. Like they left the little deer stand where they finale'd, and then they went to the valley. So she's going back to the house?
I think they just wanted a nice closing shot. They really.
Well, this movie is starring Julia Garner, Christopher Abbott, Matilda Firth, Sam Yeager, Benedict Hardy.
Cumberbatch. Oh, no.
No, just Benedict Hardy, and the rest of them we don't really see. I thought the female actress was a little too young. The mom, Julia
Garner.
Yeah.
Yeah, she was from
Charlotte.
Ozark, yep.
Ozark.
Because when we first seen her, they're first introduced to the guy in the family. I knew who he was. He was a child grown up that we've seen before. But she was so young, I was like, is this his daughter? There's two daughters? The big sister, little sister thing going on? It was just kind of weird. I didn't get the feel of,
She's like
that's
35.
Yeah, it's a possibility they could,
He looked 45,
Yeah,
50 something.
He did.
Well, how old would he have been? He looked like he was about 8 in the opening shot.
38. It said 30 years later.
Yeah, so probably about,
He just looked a lot older than she was
Hey,
looking.
man, about old as me, man.
I'll tell you how
She
it
was
is,
looking
man.
very young.
Look at them trying to hit home with old Mr. Must Be Nice.
In a survival situation, please, Lord, don't let me be around two women that don't know what the fuck they're doing.
Oh, man, they was so
Jeez, they
scared.
was falling all over the place. There was, oh, Dad, I need a hug right now in the middle of you trying to save all the bro. Get the hell off me. I'm trying to protect y'all. Go somewhere.
I'm tired.
Get
I
that
was like,
Del
bitch,
Rey.
well, you gotta get running. There's something chasing us. We gotta go.
No.
Oh, man.
No.
And another thing that didn't make sense is if the dad has been missing. His dad has been missing for however long. A long while, they kept saying. They thought he was dead. He presumed dead. You got to be gone for a while for them to just be like, yeah, they did.
I think it's 10 years.
Probably close.
Wow.
Was it 10 years?
I think legally, if you are gone and never heard from again, at 10 years, they say, oh yeah, he's dead then.
For sure did.
Well, I want to say, I mean, at least sometime around 1995 or 96 that he went to go looking for,
the wolf man.
The wolf man.
Maybe because he said as soon as he was old enough, he, went away. But that house didn't have like cobwebs and it was like some old ham or meat that was in the freezer or something like that. So you probably think that was maybe 5 or 6 years old, maybe.
I imagine it was deer meat.
Yeah.
Deer jerky.
You're just like, what's that smell? But it's like, you wouldn't eat it if it was too old. So
True. He just put it right in his mouth.
Yeah, he put it right in his mouth.
But then we had kind of begun. That was one of the early. Notice nobody else ate that jerky. That was one of the earlier signs of.
But what I was saying is that the dad's been missing for that long. Why was Derek out there in the tree stand knowing this motherfucker's out here? Like this wolf thing is out here.
No, because he said something like, "Oh, make sure you don't be out at night." Like, if it's one thing you don't forget, just don't be out at night.
Yeah, but this movie didn't set any kind of example that the sunlight was going to kill these things or deter them. This thing hunted during the day, so why didn't
it was out? But I think it.
I'm just trying to figure out why didn't
ahead, but
why didn't it attack his ass?
You can kind of tell that he sees better at night than in the daytime.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess they're less active, is what they're trying to say.
Yeah.
Not that the sun will kill them or anything. But yeah, we get introduced to the family, and they're having, I guess, marital problems. A little dispute there. I'm still thinking like that.
They're not doing the best. Put it like that. They're not,
Yeah, so the father declared dead, so in the will, he gets the house and all the stuff, and he decides he's going to go up there and just clean it out, throw shit away, I guess.
Yep, clean it out.
So he takes a moving truck, U-Haul, I don't know what they call it in this movie.
Yeah, I ain't get that name.
We Carry or some shit like that.
Some generic.
Yeah, and then they meet the dude in the stand. It was kind of a weird encounter. I mean, he was like, oh, you're an old friend. I remember you. You were so-and-so son. But our dude was just like, yeah, I remember you. It seemed like he was bullshitting. He was like, yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them, man.
Good to see you.
I've had that happen.
But I know, like, one of those things is like, if he was so in a rush to get away from his dad, he probably just forgot his past, so he probably didn't know.
That's another aspect of it where he's suppressed some trauma from his dad being missing for however long, well, close to over 25 years, I guess. But like, yeah, I did have that happen before, where it's like, I know I'm supposed to know you.
Man.
I remember you were best friends. But the thing is that I know they came from New York, and she's not used to guns, but it seems like, bro, she was just too uncomfortable with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was kind of like, this dude's a stranger. You get in the car with...
But yeah, he was just standing there like... At first, I thought it was going to have like I thought it was part of a more elaborate part of hunting or guarding against the wolf man to have like a straw man up there. And then he walks out of the shadow and comes out of the treehouse. And I'm like, oh.
He waited.
Yeah, he was just standing there.
He just waited till like...
And what's her name was Ginger. She's like, Dad, there's a man in the... I'm like, oh, he's gonna go investigate and find out that it's just a stand-in. No,
it was...
So that
he was like, oh, hey, I didn't know you saw me. She should have been
uncomfortable. I feel like she should have been uncomfortable. Yeah, everybody has a gun out here. Yeah, but
I didn't get
this guy has a
I didn't get the dangerous, awkward feel from him. I just got like he ain't seen people in a while awkward. And he says it too, we don't get a lot of people up here. We living off the grid or whatever. And they're on their way to the house. How is this motherfucker getting back? Because it was daylight when they started leaving.
It was
and it was dark.
Way, it was a long way.
It was.
When they was on the way to the house.
It could have been possibly...
over the mountains or something.
Well, no. It was probably... That was the other thing why he might have been in the treehouse. It was probably close. Like I want to say he was trying to do like a night watch or something like that. Maybe. But like, I mean, why are you doing night watch when it's not a lot of people up there? You can just stay in the house instead of doing night watch. But...
That's true.
It was probably close, like... around our time now, it gets dark, 4:45?
Yeah, 4:45.
Close to 5 o'clock. They could have got there, like,
right.
Closer to, and it seemed like a longer, well, we're going to get to that, but it was a long night.
It was a long trip, too.
Yeah.
Well, they start driving, and he gets a little distracted talking to old goofball, and then he sees the man in the middle of the street and just swerves. Like, you got your whole family in the car.
Still getting hit, bro.
And you going to swerve this big-ass truck.
I know, me going through the training of being, I know this dude is not a truck driver, but they was like, I don't care what is in the way, as long as you preserve your life and whatever. If somebody wants to be stupid enough to get in front of you, you gotta go. Like,
Sheesh.
it's either like I'm gonna hit all these people over here, I'm gonna hit all these people right here, or one stupid motherfucker
right in front of you.
Right in front of you.
They do too.
Man.
So like, if you don't know what it is, if it's like an animal or something, I gotta hit it.
Hell yeah. Cause I would have hit him.
Don't sing your favorite song, B.
What?
You're about to go.
Bye bye. I would have turned the radio up on his ass. Going bye bye.
No, that's one of my pet peeves. There's two pet peeves in movies that I have, and they both have to do with driving. And one is when you suddenly see something in the road. I don't know. In movie world, they got to swerve.
They got to swerve.
Me, I slam the brake.
Yes, slow down.
And then the other thing is like the airbags never seem to deploy in most movies. And I'm like, they've been a thing since like what, the early 90s at least, probably the late 80s. And
another stupid thing though is like whenever they swerve, they go down this big like fucking valley thing, and the truck gets like put on their side. So it's on his side, and everybody's buckled up except for the one guy that's in the passenger seat, and he just opens the door.
Man, he's like, I gotta get out of here.
You gotta get out of here right now, man.
He opens the door,
and he falls what 5-6 feet.
It was seemingly 5-6 feet, but I want to say like the way he might have been the only one that was realistically affected by the accident, because it's kind of like it was just like, I don't know where I'm at, I'm just gonna open the door.
Yeah,
and then he falls out. Everybody else is fine somehow.
Everybody else has seatbelts on.
Yeah,
I don't think he had one on. I never seen him unbuckle. I just saw him reach for the door and he just dropped.
Yeah, so
it might be true.
Yeah,
and that comes to one of the main problems I have with the movie is when he can see the Wolfman climbing on the side of the truck like Spider-Man. For some reason, the Wolfman's climbing up under it, and he gets up there and he's able to close the door and he smashes the window. Mm-hmm. The glass comes in and hits the guy. He's like, I got cut. Well, apparently that was a cut from the long ass nail of the Wolfman. It did not reach his ass. He was on the driver's side. The passenger side's way over here. He smashed the glass, and the guy's like, and he gets cut with the glass. And that's why I leaned over to you and was like, didn't he get cut with some glass or something?
I always thought it was a scratch. Like
I thought it was
he bursted his arm through the window.
Man, he wasn't.
And got his arm.
Let's say later down, whenever another transformation happened, he didn't have long nails. So it's like he didn't have long fingers and long nails. So it's like, bro, how did it reach him? Man, like unless his whole arm went in there and they got that shit.
That's what I want to. Yeah, we would have to watch it again, slow it down.
Nosferatu nails and fingers reaching him. But they end up getting out of the truck, climbing from the driver's side, which is now the top side, and then they go all the way to the dang house. They run all the way to the house. The little girl's like, I'm tired. I don't want to walk no more.
Too unrealistic, man.
Yeah, he was like, come on, baby.
I'm the one damn near 40 here. Like, we ran. Couldn't ran no more than 10 yards. And then Daddy, I'm tired. Yes. I guess. I mean,
he carries a little way. They get to the tree line and they see the house. He puts her down and then he's like, run. And they just take off running Jurassic Park style to the house. And this motherfucker crawling after him. And I have never seen nobody in a scary movie hit them keys as fast as he did.
Oh, yeah.
He didn't drop. He didn't jiggle. He didn't do nothing. He said,
he knew exactly which one it was.
Yep. Yeah, he got in the damn house.
This key. Get in now.
Yeah.
The only thing was he had time to shut the iron screen door.
Yeah. But it didn't matter. He didn't make it in. Mm-hmm. And after that, at what point I think it was when he had put the bookshelf in front of the door and turned around because he had told the wife to keep calling on the radio. The daughter just comes up to him, starts looking at him, and he's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? And then the wife comes around the corner and she's like, did you get anybody on the radio? And she's just looking at him. What the fuck? And I think that's the point when it started affecting him. He was like, they're not saying nothing.
Yeah.
Fucking weirdos. And he just kept going.
So whenever he lost, because he lost his speech, he on his side, because I like the way they did the camera thing.
That was awesome. Yeah. I did like that.
So on his side, he was saying, Ginger, I don't know what's going on. I can't understand you. But it sounded like he was saying,
Yeah, he wasn't really saying
that. That
nothing.
was like the further stage, though.
No, but I wonder if that was happening because he was just like, go lay down. It was like, they were just.
It might have been happening, yeah. I think it might have. He's like, did you hear what I said? Whatever. And he just kept working on the door again.
Yeah, probably. Yeah.
I'll be done in a minute. Yeah, that was weird. And then the wife knew that he was getting fucked up. She was on the thing. Hello? I need help. husband's sick and he doesn't know it. Why are you telling him all this? Just say my husband's sick, I need help. We have this address. Come on over here.
That motherfucker found the darkest spots in all the damn houses, though.
Yeah, he was a ninja trained in the darkness, molded by it. But yeah, I did like that little. They would show it from his side, the night vision. Everything got a little brighter. Their eyes, the way he's seen their eyes.
Yeah,
and he couldn't understand them. They were like, blum, 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 blum.
Yeah.
But the body language, though, he should have understood. Like, so you're saying that if they were deaf before, they'd still be able to communicate as a werewolf because he'd be like signing and shit, and they'd be like, "Oh, okay."
I think it was showing that he couldn't. Their language was actually like what's that word? Unintelligible or whatever. Mm-hmm. Like he couldn't. He kind of did grasp the concept when she handed him that notepad.
Yeah.
Clearly, he didn't understand what she's saying, but he was
dying.
She's just like handing him the pad, and then somehow he's not able to speak, but he can still write the English language, whatever.
That's true. And then he understood his daughter. They did the whole head thing. They had a little thing where he would act like she knew how to read minds, and he would say, "What am I thinking?" She'd say, "You love your little girl." And so they had that little thing in there, and I guess he would understand that point. I don't think, at least for me, at no time did I feel like they were in danger because of him. Even when he was chasing them, I didn't feel like he was going to hurt them.
Yeah, because it's like at that one point where he came down the stairs because he like got up there like in the house.
Oh yeah, to the top. He got into the top somehow.
And he came down the stairs and he tried to reach for his daughter's hand, and then the wife was like, "No,"
and sliced him. Yeah.
He's like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, I feel like if he was going to kill him, he would have gave something a little more aggressive. But before that, the werewolf, the wolfman that's been chasing him outside, this aggressive motherfucker, I guess he ain't got no other meals around because he is just stalking his house. He reaches through the damn doggy door and grabs dude.
Oh, yeah.
And tries to pull him out.
But that's crazy, though, because he just killed Clint or Jason or whatever his name was.
Bubba
John. Derek.
It's the most. Hold on.
The one that opened the door and fell 5 or 6 feet.
Oh, man.
He like...
You thought he would have been fooled.
Gutted him and took his arm off because you seen a ring later on. The whole arm. It's like...
But I wonder if it might have been a territory thing then. Because tigers will kill other tigers, not for food, but just because you in my territory.
I mean, yeah, that was still his house, technically, so he might have been just been around.
And that don't make sense either. This dude was military trained. Like, he would get his kid up, tell him military times. We're leaving at 0700. You need to be ready. Get my back. Doing all these little military lingo. And he had no guns in the house. Not a one.
Not one.
So he just had that one hunting rifle, went out, got bit or something, never came back. Is that it?
Yeah, I guess so. I'm definitely not military, and I think I have 4 guns in my house. Bro, it's going to be a gun in my fucking house.
Well, we did mention it earlier, but before he got too sick and started this transformation, which was a very slow transformation, he went down to the basement and he smelled something. He smelled this meat, I guess it's in a freezer.
Yeah.
And he was like, "Oh, it's my dad's jerky."
That was the thing. She didn't smell it.
My jaw. He bit into it and one of his teeth come out. And we're thinking, oh, it must have been from the accident, must have hit his head or something. That shit was nasty. And then she gave him a gall, and he was just like, "Am I supposed to eat this?" There's a look on his face about what to do with that gall. He just put it in his mouth. But we know now that was a symptom of the transformation, the infection. Another one was super hearing.
Yeah.
Because he kept hearing something upstairs, like something was beating on something.
And I thought it was like the actual, the other wolf man.
Yes, up there.
And then once it didn't sound too aggressive, I was like,
the hell is that?
This dude's been missing. Like, it can't be a deer static because the way the audio sounded, for us in the theater or whatever, it sounded like it could have been like a deer or something trapped in a closet, whatever, clocking around.
Yeah.
I figured it was like he had some type of safe room, like a safe whatever that he had somebody in there or something.
Right.
Because like you guys said, they didn't have any time frame on the dad, so he could have just been there, months or a year ago. We don't know. But then at that time, Ginger grabbed a whole bunch of keys, and I was like, "God dang, how many fucking keys you need for that small ass thing?" And I was like, "Okay, it might be a safe room." And then it went up there, and it was a fucking huge spider.
Oh my god!
Yeah,
that's like an Australian huntsman
spider.
Are those
things in Oregon?
I guess so.
Bro, if I ever get to Oregon, I'm locking my damn
Maybe
train.
he had. That's why I was locked in that room up there. He never went up there again. He saw it one time. The motherfucker sounded like he was up there doing carpentry or something.
And I was thinking that we were gonna get a little thing with the transformation, man. I thought we were gonna get him to
Teen
eat
Wolf.
the spider.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I thought he was gonna go down the hatch. They didn't give it to us. He didn't kill it. He just
left it up there.
came back and was like,
I was like, bro, you want to protect your daughter? You
Well-
letting that motherfucker stay upstairs?
and I think it's at that point where I think with the new kind of sense of hearing or whatever, he heard the Wolfman prowling outside or whatever, and then
Yeah.
you kind of see him, and then thing is, he told her to stay still and be quiet, and she still.
Clocking
She stayed there for like 10 seconds and then proceeds to follow him, which might have been a good thing because otherwise he'd been
That's true.
pulled on through that doggy door.
Yes. Yeah, she beat that thing's hand with a hammer or something.
Yeah.
Because this motherfucker hit his own
Oh,
hand.
yeah. That was what happened with his hand. Did he hit his hand?
That's what it sounded like. His weak ass little.
But they didn't show it. They didn't.
They didn't. And then he was hitting the thing, and the first one was like, tink, tink. It was just some weak little hits. And then the one he finally got good was a big meaty. He was like, "Argh." I thought he was going to show like some bloody hand and heal up or something, some kind of healing
Right.
factor.
Like maybe you bust your hand, but it's just like, to us, that sounds super terrible.
But he's just like,
But you just like a,
I get a new one.
yeah, lesser sense of pain,
But I mean,
heightened strength, something like that.
if you take a nail and a hammer, like, you gonna get that first one in there. It don't matter how deep it is, and then you gonna take your fucking finger away. Because motherfucker, I'm hitting it even harder this time.
He wanted to nail his hands into the damn thing. He wanted to do. He gets to a point where he gets just really messed up, and he starts losing his hair. He gets his underbite, and then the wife sees a truck outside. She's like, "All right, this is our way out of here. We got to get out of here. We got to get my husband help. Got to get him to the doctor."
That's smart. Because she started grabbing batteries.
She grabbed the
and shit.
batteries. She grabbed the keys. She knew what was up. She went all out there. They got all the way out there. She gets the battery going, and then she finally gets the car started. And she closed the hood, get on the side of that dirty ass window. She flicked them little wipers on, and there was the motherfucker Wolfman waiting on him. He punches through the window and rips the gear right off the damn
Yeah,
truck,
that was a little specific. It was
right
like
off the column. Yeah, I don't know how to rig that.
Seems a little smarter than
Actually, guys, back in the day, they used to have, it was actually a manual.
Well, yeah, so the car's shot. There's no way they're going to be able to drive it, or at least no way they're going to change gears.
Apparently, they cut the car off, too, because there was no more.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
did.
They rip the damn gear out, and the car just cuts off, I guess.
So they run on top of this little greenhouse thing with the plastic stapled into it, got the arches and the plastic over it, and they get on top of it. So the Wolfman, like, I guess can't reach them. And we start seeing, which didn't really come into effect, but the plastic was sliding and the staple started coming out of it as if somebody's going to fall. But they made it look like the girl, it was happening on the girl's side, but the husband and wife was on the other side. They got to weigh, 300 pounds together?
Right, yeah.
Maybe 4. And the little girls is the one that's collapsing? Get the fuck
okay,
out of
yeah.
here. And the Wolfman starts reaching up, cutting holes in the shit. Little girl almost falls. But then this is when I knew, like, okay, he's going to protect his family, because he pointed at the house. He's like, ooh, like caveman talk. And then he just ran and jumped off to attract the Wolfman to go after him. And he went off in the woods, and we hear like a dog whimper. Like, he done fucked this thing up. And he makes it back to the house. He don't knock or nothing. He just outside the back door just staring.
Just breathing.
That hot ass Wolfman breath.
It was at that point, man. I really couldn't tell which one it was, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, didn't he have something different on? But
I figured it was the dad, but I was thinking, like, how did he make it this far back? He's still in mid-transformation. He shouldn't be as strong as a fully transformed Wolfman, but,
which don't seem as strong, because what happens later down the line?
well, maybe he's still more intelligible. So he may be out, I don't know, ducked a claw and gave him a right or something, and it just stunned him. But we forgot to talk about one of the other cool things they did when the dad and the son were hunting 30 years ago. They were in the tree stand, and the dad was getting ready with the rifle, and you could see where the wolf was between the breath. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. And then that shit ended up behind the dad.
Yeah,
and I was like,
his gun trained on the door.
Yes, that was a pretty cool effect earlier. But back where we are now, they let the motherfucker back in, and this dude is looking fucked up. He's balding. He's got the underbite, getting more hair on his chest and shit. Bro, I'd have been like, man, hey, you gotta stay outside. You can't come in.
Yeah, there was a whole point where it looked more like the classic where he went full on like Wolfman transformation.
That's when he was out in the dirt.
Yeah, where he took his shirt off. And then, not for nothing, I think if you're paying attention to the lighting, it almost looks like it's a full moon as well. Mm-hmm. It's like the light, the way the light is shining on him or whatever. It's kind of like it's the full on, like, his ribs start separating.
And it dislocates his jaw or something.
Start changing the bone structure, and then,
And I didn't this point, because he bite. It looks like he bit the fingers of the other Wolfman.
Yeah.
And so the daughter does the whole, what am I thinking thing again.
And he's still calm.
And so he's calm, and he's like, I thought it was going to revert him back to normal. But he ends up throwing up all his blood and a finger.
Yes.
And then
looking at it like, oh shit.
Yeah. And so
she freaks out.
Yeah, they freak out, and he just fucking leaves. And I'm just like, okay, so either they're not as strong as I think Wolfmen are supposed to be, like in the whole like mummy universe, or it's like, how long do you have to be a Wolfman to get as strong as
like one outside, climbing upside down on trucks and shit?
Yeah,
that's when the one outside attacks. He gets inside the house. We like, oh damn, they in trouble now because he fucks up old daddy. He fucks up the daddy dude, and then he's going after the wife. But before he goes after the wife, she stabs him in the back while he's getting on her husband
once.
Yeah, right in the back, and she take out running
once.
And he pull that shit out too. And then she get a fire poker thing. Yeah, starts beating him in the face. Up. And this was her nerd too. The thing got smarter because she backhanded him one time. He's like, and then she got him again with it. He was like, and then she tried to go the same move 3 times. He ducked that shit.
Flipped the jab.
And then that's when she got lucky because daddy got back up and tackled his ass. And he ends up biting him in the throat, which didn't look that bad. It didn't look like it was a bite mark. It was just like a scratch on the throat.
Yeah, I thought it was the way I was thinking, it was more like a collarbone bite. Collarbone / jugular kind of bite, and then when they pan into the camera, it's like he cut him with it.
Yeah,
maybe it might have been one of them things we caught. They left in. They filmed 2 different versions of how he killed him.
Maybe, they should have made that look worse. But I was thinking like, okay, maybe he ain't dead. Maybe he didn't want to kill him. But how dogs do in the wild, they'll bite their pack members to let them know, hey, I'm the dominant one. You need to stay down. And that's what I thought he was doing. He was teaching him, I'm big boss man now. I'm the wolf man. You gonna be a little bitch. But it didn't work out like that. He killed him. And that's when he looked at his wrist and saw that it was his dad who had his name tattooed on his wrist. Who get their own name tattooed on their wrist?
I don't know.
It looked more like it was part of his, because
you remember military tattoo
when he was on the CB radio talking about he saw the Wolfman back in like 95 or whatever, and he was he had a flag over his CB radio, and it looked more like that was his squad in the U.S. Marine Corps or whatever. So maybe they all had that same. Okay. But we did, speaking of wrist though, we did kind of skip over one weird, creepy moment during the transformation when I think it was White when he was saying he was dying or whatever we wrote down, and then he kind of sits up, and then Ginger is like, why is Daddy's arm like that? And then you see it bleeding.
Oh, yeah.
He starts scratching.
Yeah, and they take the bandage off of it, and then he just goes in the corner and starts scratching. And then, like, okay, scratching is one thing.
Then he starts gnawing.
Then he starts eating his own hand. I'm like, what?
Yeah, it started off as a scratch, and then just looked like it just opened. Like it was gangrene or something.
It was gross.
I know. It's another part I forgot was when he threw up that finger. I heard some rustling going on behind me. Fucking a family of 4 just got up and left.
Yeah, they were done. I was wondering what that too. I was like, what are they doing? Yeah, they all just got downstairs and left.
I guess they got roasted out.
Maybe. I was okay.
Roasted out. Yeah. Could have been the timing.
Wasn't that bad.
I don't know.
Promise me next time you like,
it was a very gross moment.
We gotta wait for the perfect time and be like, I can't believe this, and just walk off.
It was a very gross moment. Yeah. Dang. That might have been where they drew the line.
Yeah, that was pretty sick stuff.
He just threw up a Wolfman finger.
Well, after he kills his dad, the Wolfman, that's when the wife and the daughter get really freaked out by him. I think it's more the wife just want to protect the daughter. And this is when he kind of corners him and he reaches out for the daughter and she slices his ass. And they take off running towards the barn. And I'm like, man, what? They're going from the house to the truck to the house to the barn. They're going to go back to the goddamn house. Quit doing this shit. But they end up making it into the barn and they lock it up and they go and hide in the darkness. And the mom finds this chain which I didn't see that it was a trap. I just saw the chain. I was like, oh, they're going to train this motherfucker, put a leash on him.
Yeah.
I didn't see it. I didn't see it was a trap either.
Yeah, me either. And the wolfman can see them. He's like right in front of them, but they can't see in the dark, and he's just looking at him. She turns that light on, sees his ass. He gets caught by that trap, and they take off running.
And there's that part where I'm like, dude, is he not strong?
Yeah, he could have just opened the trap up or something, but he didn't. He decided
he still has some type of intelligence because he sits down and he's just trying to. But it's like, are you not? What?
Yeah, I don't know what the enhanced strength is. I think they have some sort of enhanced strength. But it's just like a bear. Like a bear has, how many times stronger than we are.
Okay, so.
And can't actually.
I don't know.
Not that if a bear could, but you know what I mean.
But I'm trying to gauge it is because the first Wolfman we seen, he's probably still out there because they never end up catching him, right? Because it's the one that affected the dad.
Oh, he might have
the first one.
Got him.
That's true.
And then
maybe, but
yeah,
we don't know the story.
In the midst of it, yeah, but yeah.
But when we first seen him, it looked like he just swiped a deer.
Man, real fast.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
The rib cage and it was
so he should be strong enough.
So he should be strong enough to do that.
Yeah, they showed he could do that. Maybe that guy's been Wolfman for years, I guess. The longer you're Wolfman, the stronger you get, I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
But he ends up chewing his damn foot off.
We gotta look that up. Is that something that wolves do?
I think they will. If they're trapped, I think they will do that.
Because my only knowledge of this is Resident Evil 4.
Because they want to survive.
The very beginning where there's the wolf that's trapped in the bear trap, and it's like if you release it later on, the wolf helps you fight the El Gigante. It serves as a distraction or whatever. But
if you don't release it,
the wolf in that game didn't you can just keep going. You don't have to release the wolf. You can just
come back later. He'll still be there.
Yeah. One of the things don't eat it, but yeah.
Well, they go running off in the woods, and I guess the mom's got a great sense of direction because she finds the truck where they crashed at, and she realizes it. I think she found it by mistake. It didn't, because she was like, "Oh, there's the truck. There's that dude's arm." She saw old Derek's arm and his stuff, and she's like, "He had a gun on him."
Yep.
And she immediately starts looking for it and finds it. Well, Daddy's here. He done crawled all the way over there with that nub. I did like how he didn't immediately just start crawling after him. He was on the ground prone, doing all that slow crawling, and then eventually he got used to not having that foot, and then he got faster. And I was like, okay, that's pretty cool. They thought about that one at least. And then they found the tree stand. That damn truck crashed next to the same damn tree stand that old boy was in back in the day.
Oh, yeah.
And so they get in there and hide, and daylight's coming. And we see the same effect. The breath comes up over the thing. She's got the rifle ready, and he puts his hands over and puts his head up and looks at him. And I thought, again, they're no harm. He would have jumped over this thing and mauled him up. And that's when the daughter says, Mommy, I think he wants it to end. I think he wants it to be over.
Yeah, on their side, like he was trying to say something. I wish they would have panned over and be like,
see what he was saying.
I love you, Ginger. I want you to be
and
happy.
Then it kind of made you wonder. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, at some point, they can't understand each other. He don't understand them. They don't understand what he's trying to say. So you always had this point where it was always like a little cute little moment between dad and daughter or whatever, whereas you always seem to be able to read my mind. That's exactly what I was thinking.
That was a good little cup right there.
But then, you come to that moment at the very end, whatever, it's like he wants it to end. You can't know. To me, you can't know. Did he actually want to hurt them, or was he? Because then when he jumped and actually did it, well, I guess that was after she said he wants this to end.
I think he was pushing the mom to do it because I don't think she would have did it.
Yeah.
Unless she thought the daughter was in danger. So she do end up shooting him. I thought that was different too. Ain't the old wolf man? Can you only kill him by silver?
I don't.
Yeah, I think so.
Well, yeah, this one he gets caught with a regular bullet and it puts him down. So I thought that was pretty cool. There ain't really no mystical magic to it. It's just an infection, and he can still be put down with guns and whatnot. So yeah, he ends up dying, and that was it. So this should be the end of the Wolfman. There's no more infection. He was the last one, and
it's supposedly because we haven't seen
the other one is still out there.
Oh, the super powerful one.
The hiker.
Yeah, the one that was missing a long time. He should be an old ass wolf though, man. How long did wolves live?
That was like 30 years though.
Yeah.
No, but I don't know, because let's assume that the dad knew about it, a couple years before his son was born, right? So 40 years maybe?
That was the thing that they were saying. They were saying, I think at the very beginning, it was saying that in 1995, a hiker disappeared. They don't really specify what year that they go hunting.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe within that same year, you can say a hiker disappeared, and then what the locals called it. The native people had some strange name for it, but it was called hill fever.
Yeah,
and then what did they call it? Face of the wolf. Yeah, it translates to the face of the wolf, whatever hill fever, aka face of the wolf.
So if hill fever is a real thing in this world, do they have an antidote for it or some kind of cure?
No. I think it only exists. It's one of them things like you always hear about Bigfoot and the abominable snowman and chupacabras and jackalopes. And it's just like,
So they need to find what they needed to do is find one of them Native American motherfuckers. I bet he had some kind of bones and powder that'll turn him back.
I don't think we're to the point of Resident Evil 8 lycanthropes, just a whole village taken over by lichens or whatever. Yeah.
Talking about, man. And then I guess we don't know either how many motherfuckers the dad's been scratching, going around the neighborhood, just turning motherfuckers. But I feel like this is it. Like, you can't have a sequel. Last Werewolf's Down. They didn't really say that there was more, so we're done.
But they actually didn't say anything about how people contracted either, so yeah, we don't know.
That was kind of the same thing. We're revitalizing all the Universal monsters now.
I guess so.
I think we got... Nosferatu's knockoff of Dracula, so that's not one of them. I don't even think that was Universal anyway.
We got Dogman coming out too as knockoff of Wolfman.
But yeah, we got The Invisible Man. That was 2020.
Mm-hmm.
That was one of the first movies they welcomed us back with, man.
Yep.
I think it was that movie with Russell Crowe? Unhinged?
Yeah.
Unhinged, Tenet, and The Invisible Man.
How about that?
And then so I mean,
one and done.
Might just get revitalizations throughout the years and
see how it goes. After that little talk, guys, do you still say the same thing? Would you go and see it in theaters? Must be nice.
No.
Would you see it in theaters, Grizz?
Yeah.
You like the theater experience?
Yeah,
okay.
I like it.
Man, I really liked the beginning, but I did not like how the story turned out. I don't know. I felt like Wolfman could have defended the family a little more. They could have really made the dad the big bad guy, but I don't know. He put him down too easily, I guess. So I don't know. I don't think it's worth the theater experience. But that's our review, guys. That's our show review of Wolfman. And that'll be it for us, guys. Atlas, or Must Be Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Grizz, keep on reeling.